Well, hello everybody. Hi out there. This is Brian's Basement. I'm Brian, and this is my basement, and it's episode 26. Half a year. Can you believe that? It's crazy. It's crazy. Episode 26. We usually do 13 episode seasons, or at least that's what we did the first one, and now that's what we're doing now. So it's 26. End of season 2. That doesn't really mean anything on this show, except for we take a break next week. But that's where we're at. And today, we have a very special event. We have EP release party. I've been working on, when I'm not doing all this, I've been working on a recording of a new 5-song collection called There's a World of Wondrous Radiance. And so tonight, we're just going to talk about it a little bit, and I'll play the songs on it, the 5 songs on it. We'll take some questions and some comments, so drop those in there. If there's anything you want to know about writing it, or how I recorded it, or about any of the songs, or anything really, if you want to hear my opinions on frisbee golf and skateboarding and beer and Quake 2 modding, you can ask that too, and I'll answer it. Okay, so drop it in the comments. Come say hi. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, so we're here to celebrate, basically. So that's another thing you got to do. We got a lot of homework for the viewers out there. You know, you gotta drop some comments in there, and you gotta get a beverage. So you get a beer or a nice water, or like a soda pop, or like a big tall glass of warm milk for all you freaks out there. And you know, because you gotta celebrate sometimes, no matter what it is. You just gotta celebrate. So I've got a beer that I made here, in this fancy cup that I don't think I cleaned, but that's what we're gonna do anyway, because it's fancy. So there you go. Well, anyway. How about we get to it, everybody? So, there's a lot of yakking so far. And guess what? I'm going to continue yakking at you, because this first song on the EP... Oh, one more thing. More yakking. One more thing is, I put a link on the bottom. It should be like right there or something. And that's my website. If you want to, you can go there and you can download all these. The YouTube thing is already on YouTube, so you can watch it there. But the reason why I put that link down there is if you're like me and you like following along with the words, like a sing-along, I've got a link on there to the lyrics and the chords. So if you want to follow along while we're talking about the songs, you know, go for it. You know, if you got a harmonica or a guitar, you know, bring that toot along with it, because we got the chords on there too. So yeah, so check that out if you're interested. Anyway, let's get started. So I want to talk a little bit about each of the songs before I play them. And either, you know, I don't want to talk too much about what the songs mean, because I think that takes something away from the listener. I don't want to tell you what to think about the song. But I do want to make sure to talk in generalities as far as the important things in the song. And however anyone else wants to interpret it out there, I say go for it. But this first one in particular, I wrote notes, because I'm just going to make it up for the other ones. I'm just going to, you know, just jabber up here about it. But for this first one, I really wanted to write down notes, because it's one of the more nuanced. I think it could come across in a bunch of different ways. And I don't want it to get off the wrong impression, because I really, really like this song. And a lot of people have been asking me about it too. So the first song on the EP is a song called Katerina. This song is... Oh, that's me commenting from Kim. Okay. This first song is called Katerina. And this song was written as an exercise of of empathy, trying to push the limits of how we can feel about people that we fundamentally don't understand. Because lately it's been quite disturbing to me how the how people behave like on the internet and stuff, and how people behave out in public. It's crazy. You see it on TV, you see it on the internet. Um, it's insane to me, and it's disturbing, and it worries me when you see people that believe in things that seem so counter to what you believe is right, and it's really hard to. It's just hard to deal with that. It gives me a lot of anxiety. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to try to write something that would remind me how to understand, or at least think about this in a different way, so that I'm not so anxious about it and so worried about it, but more of like a more constructive way to think about how the world is kind of like functioning at this point. Because I don't like to engage in that stuff generally. This is how I do it, is with songs. So this is going to be really long, and I'm sorry to kick off the show with this long diatribe, but I had to make sure that I said it, especially for this one. Yeah, this tool is just the song is a tool. A lot of my songs are tools that remind me of things, or it's me. It's allow it for me to set a stance in stone that I'm going to stick to and that I'm going to follow. So that's kind of where this came from. The important thing about this is that I want to understand these underlying causes for the way that these things are shaking out lately. And because it's clearly powerful emotions. This stuff isn't driven by logic. It's driven by clearly powerful emotions, and I do think that that's important. But, and this is really the point that I wanted to make, because I want to make sure that I'm not making apologies for people that act like shitheads or have stupid, hateful beliefs. I'm not apologizing for them. I don't condone them for supporting things like that, because it's terrible. It's reprehensible. This song is for me. It's not for them. This song is not a rallying cry for whatever the hell dumb shit you believe. This is for me, so that I can sleep at night. So that's where the song's coming from. The title Katarina is based on. Well, we're gonna get to our first prop tonight. Before even a song, can you believe it? Props before a song? Wow. Only here on Brian's Basement. This is Crime and Punishment, and this is a book that I read. I think there's a reference to Raskolnikov, the protagonist, I guess, in a Mountain Goat song, and that's how I was like, maybe I should try to read that. It's a classic piece of literature. But anyway, Katarina is a character in this book, and there is a scene. There's a scene that really stuck with me, and it's for the funeral of her husband, and her husband is these are all like super Russian names, and I've never pronounced them out loud because I've never had to. I've just read them in the book. So Marmeladov, he's basically he's a drunkard. He's like a government official. He's a drunkard. He's never around. He's a piece of shit. And he ends up dying because he gets hit by a car or a carriage or something. I think carriage. Yeah, this is before cars. He gets hit by a carriage, and so he dies, and he basically leaves Katerina, his wife, who has 3 small children, and then 1 more grown child. And so Katerina decides that she's going to basically hold this big party, this big funeral party. Now, Katerina has no money. She's broke. They describe her as washing the rags of her children's clothes like every day, just so that they can wear those rags the next day. She's got no money. She's dying from tuberculosis consumption. She's dying of that. She has no prospects, because given the time period this takes in. But for some reason, she decides she's going to hold this elaborate party. And so she goes out and she wears her fanciest dress. She buys all this wine, all of this food, and she invites all these fancy, sophisticated people to her party. And among those are Amalia, who's her landlady. Her landlady is a German who is supposed to be a lower class at this time. A lot of German immigrants to Russia. This takes place in like the 1890s. But she's somehow her landlady, and so that really, really peeves her that somebody like this is doing better than her. She invites Luzin, I think is how it's pronounced. He's basically a super rich guy, and he's a gigantic turd. And so she invites him. She doesn't even know him, but he's just in town temporarily. So she invites this big rich turd to her party. And finally, there's Sonia, Katerina's daughter. So they're all at this party, and Katerina's just talking and raving about how her father was a general and he was so good, and he did, he was so high up, and she is of noble, sophisticated blood, and basically fronting for all these people this imaginary world that doesn't exist, but that she believes should have existed. And so she goes on and on about this stuff, but like half the fancy people in it show up. It's just a small party, and basically like these are the people that showed up. And so she immediately starts to bicker with her landlady, the German, and they're bickering and Luzin walks in, and he's just like, and she's like, "Oh, you should know me. My father was a general, and you're very rich." And he's like, "No, I don't. And your father your father sucked, basically." And so she gets like super offended, and it just kicks everything up. It stirs everything up at this party, and then eventually turns into, her throwing a glass at Luzin, but it actually hits the landlady, and so she gets kicked out of her house, and then she's homeless. She's on the street. And another thing that happened in this party was the rich guy. He had basically had a meeting with Sonia earlier, and he offers to give her money for the funeral. And they're like, "Oh, thank you so much, rich guy. You're helping us so much." Well, they get to the party, and Luzin just says, "Sonia, you came into my room, and now one of my 100-ruble bills is missing." And she says, "I didn't steal it. Of course I didn't." And he's like, "No, it must be you." And she turns out her pockets, and there is a 100-ruble bill. But then somebody else in the room comes in and says, "I saw you slip that into her pocket." So this rich guy comes in to this party that he barely knows anybody, that people want to be like him, and he slips them, and he basically cons them to discredit them. And so there's that's what kicks off the throwing the glass and stuff. So you have this crazy party that logically makes no sense. But the thing that stuck out to me is that Katerina is not a bad person, and Katerina is not. She's definitely irresponsible, and she's definitely like delusional. But what she really wants is she wants that world that she imagined for herself. She wants the world where she didn't marry the drunk guy that got hit by a carriage and died and turned them out on the street. She wanted the life where, her father was a general, she marries well and has an easy life. She wants a life where she's not dying of a disease that she can't cure. And these are the motivations for this crazy, ludicrous party that's just an absolute cluster. And I think that's a powerful emotion for everybody. I think everybody has like that nostalgia, regret type deal. And I think that to me is like the core. Like there's your commonality right there. So this is a song about people that don't need more yelling at them. People that really, despite their fronting for that they don't need this at all, what they really need is pity and help. So this song is called Katerina. I apologize for the longness. They won't all be like that because we're almost out of time tonight. But anyway, The song's Katarina. It's the first song on the EP. It's called There's a World of Wondrous Radiance. Everything is based off of an object. So in this case, the object is my book. My book. Katarina's husband died a few days ago. He worked every day of his life, and every hard-earned cent to the doctor all it went. Katarina has been sick for some time, so she musters up the energy and what's left of the cash for a party for her husband dead and gone. And the future is uncertain as she stares through tattered curtains. Oh, the show must go on. So put your fancy silverware on the table and your plates from your wedding day, and they will see, oh, they will see that things weren't always this way. Katarina's father was a military man. He prospered in them good old days, when people were more decent than they seem to be of recent. But it's easy to be decent when you're paid, and Katarina's children like their grandpa's house. It was bigger and much nicer than their own. And when they finally passed, oh, the inheritance didn't last, and reputation can't buy food or clothes. Recant the tired stories over and over again, the only remnants of what you had, and they will see, oh, they will see that things weren't always this bad. Katarina looks about the party and her guests, and everyone is singing the same song. And he can't pay his bills, and she's hooked on the pills, and there's a man there that doesn't quite belong. He's the richest man in town, and he's boisterous and rude, but he offers to pay for the funeral. And the promises he speaks are not the promises he keeps, but he's the only one making promises at all. And he called her daughter a thief and a whore, but he promised to turn back time, and they will see, oh, they will see why she walks that line. Katarina's party's going pretty well so far. She subdues her cough behind her finest dress, and the medicine's running out, but what she's worried about is running out of wine for all the guests. And when they finally leave, she's alone with her thoughts, worrying and wondering what comes next. And people from the city, they say, isn't it a pity Katarina doesn't know what is best. So put your fancy silverware back in the drawer, and your plates from your wedding day, and they will see, oh, they will see that things weren't always this way. All right. Wow. Well, we got some comments. Jake says, when will it be available on Spotify? Well, I uploaded it last night, and it usually takes like a week. I probably should have done it. Usually I do it ahead of time. but I didn't finish it until earlier this week. So it will be on all the streaming services, all of them. Someone like if you're a big fan of the new Napster or Tidal or what Tubi maybe. There's a really weird one that makes me laugh, but it's on all of them, and it's also. But if you want to listen to it right now, my YouTube channel is ad free, and you should be able to listen to it on there for now. So yeah, thanks Jake. Thanks for tuning in, Jake. We'll talk more about you later. Kristen says I love the backstory. Hey, thanks Kristen. Guess what? I can read big books too, you know. So there you go. All right. All right. So let's go up. We got Illogical Loss says, loved it, catchy and meaningful. Thank you so much. Sam. Sam. What's up, buddy? I'll see you soon. We got, yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for the comments, everybody. Okie dokie. Next song. This next song is the first song I actually wrote, and I wrote most of this in the cooler at Darkness when I was working one day, filling up kegs, and so it's kind of a short one. I like to try to strive for short songs, and sometimes they get longer. But I wrote most of this one in a cooler, and this is a song that kind of was the start of what I wanted this EP to be, because it's about an inanimate object, which I really do a lot, and I'm going to get away from, I promise, after this EP. But one of the things I wanted to do with this is I wanted to record it in a live sort of way. The last album I recorded just the ukulele part, and then I would record just the bass part, and then I'd record just the vocals, and then you can, and all the backing, all on separate tracks, and then you can kind of like massage them and put effects on them and do what you want, and you have a lot of control. But I think that sometimes they come out, and especially on the last one, because it had a drum machine, some of it I thought felt a little robotic. So on this one, I really just wanted to keep it lo-fi. I wanted to just sing into a mic and play the song. And another thing I wanted to do with this is I wanted to feature a lot of harmonica. That was an Alex suggestion. He said you need more harmonica songs. So shout out Alex, thank you for that. So yeah, there's harmonica in here, and yeah, like I said, I just wanted to keep it minimalistic. One of my favorite albums is, and I've talked about this on the show before, is from that band I was in college, Clint Goffney and the Blindfolds. They made an album before I came along, and it's just him on guitar singing, and then my friend Ken playing the bass, and then a guy on a brush snare, just playing a snare drum with brushes. And it sounds so cool. And so I really kind of wanted to get that, really raw vibe that it has. So I really just kept it to bass, ukulele, and a few backing vocal tracks, because those are my favorite, and I couldn't help myself to not do it. So anyway, this song's called Knock in My Car. This is a song that's kind of about, I think that there's a lot of songs about pain from something that's gone. There's several on this EP. But this song I liked because this is about the pain that comes from something that lingers. So this is called Knock in My Car. Also, this is a knock as in an engine knock, not like a surface scratch. Alex asked that too, so take that shout out. Take a point away from Alex for asking that one, even though he did suggest more harmonica. They say these things happen with time. No need to worry, just keep a careful eye on the slow deterioration as things all fall apart. There is a knock in my car, and I don't know where it came from. somewhere between the wreck and the breakdown that's to come. My constant reminder that things just are the way they are. There is a knock in my car. There is a knock in my car. It's funny how some things aren't built to last, and time doesn't heal all wounds, and all things do not pass. My solemn companion, so long as it will start. There is a knock in my car. All right, so that is Knock in My Car. Second song on the new EP. There's a World of Wondrous Radiance. Now, so I wanted to keep it, this whole thing very lo-fi. I also wanted to, well, my recording setup is always kind of lo-fi. I was able to fake it better on the last one. But this is it right here. It's my featured object tonight on Brian's Basement. This is my recording studio, and I would sit it on the table, and I would sing into it. And the idea here is that there's a mic behind this thing. It's just a little pop filter just sitting there, and there's a little, that's a USB condenser mic. Not super pricey, but a good mic. I like the sound of it. I like the convenience of it. You just plug it in, boom, great sound. You don't need an interface or anything like that. So yeah, and the idea was that you have the box, and the blanket in the box shields the back of the from the sound bouncing, because you don't want sound to, you get weird sounds when you sing into the mic, and then the sound bounces off the wall and goes back into the mic. And the condenser mic is just a more sensitive version of this mic. So I just put you can pay all kinds of monies, but I just thought a box and a blanket was the big deal. So I put a box and a blanket, and then I put 2 blankets surrounding the box. Real high-tech stuff there. But yeah, that's the setup that I did to make all this, and I just set that on a table. Oh, and but when I played the bass, I actually put the bass through my favorite little amp here, and then put the box right next to it, and then covered the whole thing in blankets. So there's a little amp hiss in there, but yeah, that's pretty good isolation. So yeah, so that's all you really need. I think they're great. I tell people all the time to get USB mics. Like if you're like a person that is making music and you just want like the cheapest thing for the most improvement, you just get one of those guys. They're like $120, something like that. But yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. I think you just plug it in and go. And the cool thing was it was able to capture both, like we're doing here, capture both of these. The instrument and my voice all into one, and I like the way it turned out. The mix I thought turned out pretty good. The blend between the ukulele and the voice I can't change at this point. I can make the bass higher and lower in the backing vocals, but I can't change that. And so I thought it turned out good. I did all the vocals and uke parts in one weekend, and I was glad that I was able to do that, because there's kind of a consistency. Sometimes when you do it on different days, or if you spread it out a whole lot, your voice doesn't sound like super consistent. So that was something I learned from this that I was really happy about. It was a lot. It took a long time, but I was happy the way it turned out. And then another fun thing, another fun recording. This is the recording section. So I'm going to talk about recording. The other fun recording tidbit is that I did almost all of this between the hours of 11 and 2 a.m. Because it was so hot, and I had to turn off my air conditioning because it's really loud. I'm sure you can actually hear it in here. The furnace is like right there in Brian's basement. So yeah. So and in fact, all of this did not matter as much as turning off the AC, and just being at night when it's quiet was really the most important thing. So another fun fact. Very tired. Yeah, I think it was worth it. Oh, we got we got some comments. Okay, we said, was that song written about a Windstar minivan? Man, it could have been, because the steering apparatus on that was so janky, and the power steering was so crazy on that thing. But no, my current car is like really the spiritual successor to the Ford Windstar. It's a Ford 500. Handles about the same, is about as long and big. But yeah, oh man, its little ball joints, they just go out of whack so fast on that thing. So yeah, good question. Jake says, Jen found the cool XLR to USB converter. Played around with it a little bit. So far, it's pretty neat. That is cool. So I'm assuming it's just like a very tiny USB interface, because that's basically all those things are. It's a USB sound card that you can plug your mics into. It's what we got over there on the table to do this show. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. I'll have to look into that. I only have one XLR cable and mic, and it's this one though, and I really need it because I use like karaoke mics for everything else, and I don't know, but yeah. Okay, cool. Wow, I hope everyone's having as much fun as I am. Usually I do like a show and like a place, but this ain't bad either. All right, let's play the old third song. I mean, this one of the things that I got feedback on was that the end cap songs are very distinct, but the middle three are very thematically similar. And I didn't really think about that until someone said that, and they are, but I think they are subtle, in the sense that the song we just heard was about, again, like I said, like lingering, like things that linger, like that kind. They're all about shitty things. They're all about crappy crap around the house. But they all kind of express a slightly different type of, I don't know, pain. I don't know, anguish. I don't know what the word is. But angst. There it is. So that first one was about lingering. I'll play a song. The fourth song is about something that's gone. Something that's gone. This one is about, what do you do? What is the external? How do the external forces operate on something that is hurting? How does who are all the players in this kind of realm of thinking about like things that make you feel in a negative way? This song is called Maple Tree. It was inspired by a big maple tree that we had in the front yard that we had to cut down, and I'm still very sad about it. But it was going to fall over, and at least that's what the tree guy said. But it's kind of about that, but I think this is more widely applicable, obviously, than a tree. Here's a fun fact for the Brian's Basement listeners. On the album cover, on the album art, I went to because obviously that tree is gone, so I couldn't get a picture of it. So I went to get a branch from the other maple tree in our yard as kind of like symbolic, because they're probably related. But I went back there and I was gonna clip one off, but then I found this like really cool bushel of like dead leaves. Like, oh, that's cool. So I picked that up. And then after I did the photo shoot, I realized that was from the oak tree. So, fun fact, the leaves on the cover are not maple leaves. So, that's one for you can win at bar trivia someday. You're welcome. Anyway, I wrote this song on a plane actually. I've never done that before. I wrote this on a plane the last time I traveled on a plane. Last time I might ever travel on a plane. All right, Maple Tree. I don't want to be the old maple tree that used to sit outside my window. Strong on the outside, rotting from the inside. Hush the bait when I finally go. Yeah, you can be a shady tree swaying in the summer breeze for 100 seasons, until all they see is a liability and they start searching for the reasons to cut you down. And I don't want to be the man, telephone in his hand, that went to make that fateful call, wringing those hands that never worked the land, instead going straight to the song. How many times could he have tried to stop the rot before it took root? But in his absence he convinced his conscience it's in the tree's best interest to cut it down. And I don't want to be the guy chainsaw at his side that came to the yard on that day to do the dirty work that others gladly shirk. It'd be inconvenient any other way. I want to water the ground, let it seep way down and fortify the roots that run deep. And if I fall flat, I pray the Lord that they call me on my hypocrisy and cut me down. All right, I can't wait to play that one with the band. I'm really excited for that one. Actually, we did one time as like a sound check. I was like, hey guys, it's like D and B flat and there's like an A in there. All right, here we go. And being the champs that they are, they were able to get it done for a sound check. So shout out to the Amazing Waste, Scott, Jesse, and Dave. Yeah. Speaking of Dave, he gave me this super cool microphone stand. Yeah, Kim, you want to show what's on the base of it? See that down there? That, I call it the Brian 3000. They're for sale now. This is the most useful tool in the entire world. This piece of wood right here. I use it to prop up my recording studio. I use it as like a little soldering table. I used it to hold a drum one time I was playing. And then tonight I was like, man, if only I had like a piece of wood sticking up like this that I could clamp this little tiny mic to. Boom. Brian 3000. Order today. Anyway. This is crazy. Yeah, let's talk about the old album art. If you check it out on, it's like the thumbnail of the video while you're watching, and it's also like on my website and stuff. It's supposed to be like an I Spy. So everything in the picture is talked about in one of the songs. Like everything. So, yeah, go on there. Look at the album art while you're listening and be like, oh man, what do these tools mean? The tools are the weird one that's knocking my car. I didn't know how to represent that. But anyway, there's a hint, and now you gotta figure out the rest of them. Whoever does gets 26 Brian's Basement dollars. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, Brian's Basement bucks, not dollars. Come on now. All right. Yo, Jake says in the comments, can I get a Brian 3000 with my Brian Bucks. Yeah, because he's the only one. Jake is the leader. He's got 15 Brian's Basement Bucks. Jake, I can get you one of these, man. It's the most useful thing in the entire world. What else we got on here? Yeah, thanks, guys, for hanging out. This is great. Oh, that mic set was pretty sweet. Thanks, Stefan. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. I guess we might as well shout out the old pre-listen list. I always send it out to some people to listen to make sure that it's the EP doesn't sound like garbage. And one of those people is Stefan. That's what I reminded me. He gave me some great feedback. And then, also that would be like Alex and Joe and Warren and Tommy and Kim. I'll let Kim listen to it. Yeah, but if you want to be on that list, just let me know. And then you can be on the exclusive early release list for not a single Brian's Basement buck. How about that? All right. Neat. What was I talking about even? I don't remember. What?
Last thing was like the picture art.
Oh yeah, we did. We talked about it. We covered all that, I think. Yeah. No, I think that's pretty much that. I think. Let's just go into the next song. We'll talk about the next song. I've actually played this on. I've played all of these songs on the show before, because I wanted to. Without open mic, what are you gonna do? So I've played all of these on the song before. This one, this one's kind of like. So there's the concept of a novelty song. And, songwriters will talk about this all the time, about, oh, yeah, I wrote this song, but I thought it was, too much of a novelty song, and I thought it was, too, I don't know, I think what they mean by that is it's a song with, a very on-the-face metaphor. And, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what qualifies a song as a novelty song versus just a metaphor song. But I'm pretty sure that all the ones on this EP qualify as novelty. Maybe not the bookends. The middle ones are probably novelty songs. I don't know. I go back and forth, obviously. But this one's definitely a novelty song. This one was written in almost no time at all. But I had to figure out the bridge for a while. But I included it because it matched the theme of the rest of the album. And I wanted it to be a harmonica feature. Or early on, I had planned to maybe do slide guitar again. And but I didn't really feel like learning that all over again. So I thought it could be a slide guitar feature. But it turned out that when I recorded it, it came out really good recording it. And it's always the goofy ones that always turn out sounding the best. I don't know why that is. But maybe it's because in that sweet spot of 4 where I was accustomed to doing it and I was in a rhythm but not completely exhausted by that time. This song is called Socks. Oh, and shout out to Scott on this song. Scott, also an early listener. I don't know if I said his name, but when I was doing this one, I was like, Scott, I don't know what I'm doing on the bass guitar. I'm just thumping. And he was like, you got this. And I was like, cool. And then I was able to do a bass part that I was pretty proud of. And I think that the bass was much easier to play. On my last album, I actually did the bass on a keyboard because I wasn't confident in my bass skills. But with all this Brian's Basement stuff going around, I've been practicing the bass a lot more. So believe it or not, when you practice things, they get a little easier. So there you go. So this song is called Socks. Old socks trying on the line, brittle and riddled with holes. He'll stomp through the thin cotton and proceed to where the soul's all free and abundant power of the sun that fades all colors except the stains. Threads unravel one by one. till only tired rags remain. They were elastic and whole, they were flawless and bright. It's a goddamn horror show, watching socks dry on the line. And what are we to do with those who are too far gone to save? The ones that wore them out will now decide the fate. Oh, I don't wanna throw them away. I don't wanna throw them away. They were elastic and whole, they were flawless and bright. It's a goddamn horror show, watching socks dry on the line. They were elastic and whole, they were flawless and bright. It's a goddamn horror show, watching socks dry on the line. Yeah, that's the first time I've actually played that harmonica part on the holder. I played it with in my hands on the album because it sounds better recording in the mic when you make the old cave there. Yeah, so that song's called Socks. Boy howdy, we somehow stretched this thing into 48 minutes. Can you believe it? Yeah. Well, I want to do props. Because we gotta always do props. And you're like, well, we already did props before the first song. You held up a book. I was like, yes, but it's a special day. It's a release party. We've got 2 props. My other prop. We've already talked about Jake in his basement box. But Jake really outdid himself. He's getting like at least 37 basement bucks. Because I got this in the mail the other day. Just kind of, it had no note, no anything. And I was like, Kim, what is it? She's like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, I know who did this. So it turns out Jake sent me this thing called a kalimba in the mail. I call it my Game Boy because you play it like this. And I gotta tell you, everybody out there, this is the coolest thing I've owned at this point. I keep it on my desk and I play it all day long. It's the only thing keeping me sane anymore. And Jake said he got it because he thought it was a cool example of a minimalistic instrument, which we talked about a lot in the bass episodes. So I've been playing with it. I just wanted to show everybody out there. And if you can, go get one. And Jake, what's 37 plus 15, 40, 52? 52 Brian's Basement bucks for you. And I did learn like half of a song on it. So maybe we'll tilt this down here. I'm gonna get ready now. I had a dream of fields that stretched into eternity, and a little house that sat beneath bleak sullen skies. You sat on the covered front porch in a rocking chair. I saw the tears welling in your eyes. And the Walnut, you get it. Anyway, walnut trees on the kalimba. So this is called a kalimba. It's of the musical family the mbira, which is a Zimbabwean instrument. Super cool. Thank you, Jake. This thing's awesome. Everyone should get one. Anyway, props. There we go. All right. Okay, so he says play it, and I was like, that's what I did. There you go. Dad's always saying things, and then they happen on the show. It's like he's some kind of controller. Yeah, anyway, everyone's getting one of those for Christmas. So here we go. Well, I guess there's not too much to say about this last one. This last one is obviously the ender of the EP. And it came very late. This is the most recent one. And it had the quality of songs that just kind of come out. They just kind of barf out. You don't have to work on them that much. Maybe a word or two here, but it came out in the 5 stanzas just came out super fast. And that's, to me, that's an indication that well, it could be a really terrible song, or it could be a really good song. Somewhere on those polls. But I really like this one. I guess fun facts about this one. On the recording, there's a break in. So this song it's a AAA song. There's no. I guess you can make the case it's like ABAB. No, it's not really, because there's no chorus. So it's kind of just like an AAA song. There's no chorus. It's just kind of, and it's kind of just like the same thing. Which I like songs like that, because a chorus, it's like I already heard those words. I don't need to hear them again. But I knew I wanted to break it up a little on the recording, so I added this big like chant part in it, which I'm really proud of. I thought that turned out really cool. It's really just 2 parts, but each part is doubled. And then panned out and then blown out with like tons of like cathedral reverb or whatever. So I was really happy the way that turned out. And I just think that this is one of those songs that for me is one of my favorites, I think, ever. Same with, I think Katarina has that quality, a lot of the same qualities too. I think that those 2 are my favorites for sure. But I think this one has the edge significantly. And I have the feeling, and we've talked about these songs on the show, that like, what's a song that you like that no one likes? I think this might be one of them. And those are also some of my favorites too. So this song is called The Basement. It's longer for songs that I write, but every single verse is important in it, so it's got to be that long. Come speak to me while in the basement. Come creeping down the creaky wooden stairs. Let your eyes adjust to the newfound dimness. Fill your lungs with the cool and musty air. And it's comforting at first, the quiet and the dark. But my presence is unnerving and strange. Oh, you never planned to stay long, but I cannot let you leave. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. This is the dominion of your childhood imagination, where you and your siblings used to romp and play. Down here you don't have to worry about breaking things, 'cause everything is broken in some way. And I remind you that I watches from upstairs, and you find that you're forgetting the times before we'd meet. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. We got that old TV and the old video games. You can read the books on the shelf you've already read. We get a few AM stations down here clearly, but it's better than listening to the voices in your head. And distraction turns to mindless consumption. I've got a skipping record we can listen to for hours. Embrace the numbing feeling. I think it's just the thing you need. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. Up there, they've got murders with broken badges. You got their accomplices beating the shit out of peaceful folk. And there's 100,000 people coughing to death, while keyboard jockeys claim that it's a hoax. And I'll whisper the words of cruel and thoughtless people. We can board up the windows and let a little light in, and you'll argue for compassion. I'll convince you of defeat. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. And we'll contemplate the morality of fences and compare ourselves to broken old machines. We'll sip the beers that leave us worse off than they used to, and pontificate on what it all means. And your words will echo off bare concrete walls and settle like nothingness with the dust on the floor. And I'm mocking you laughing, and you know I'm not unique. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. And you shout, you find our conversation tiring, and you stumble to the stairs in empty shell. Oh, you're a little more broken after every time we speak. Don't go upstairs, stay down here with me. All right, well, that was it, everybody. That's the new EP. There's a World of Wondrous Radiance. You can listen to it on my website. You can listen to it on my YouTube, ad-free right now. And then it's on its way to the streaming service. It just takes a while for them to do all their whatever. So I really hope you like it. I'm going to thank everybody that's out there watching the show, because we're still doing it. It's also season 2 finale. And so we've done another 13 episodes. I've learned so much from all my guests, and I have so much fun chatting with you on the on the chats, and really just kind of exploring what you can do with a mic and internet connection and just a lot of free time to write songs. So thank you everyone that's watching. I really hope you're still entertained by this, because I'm entertained by it still. And thanks to everybody that helped out with the EP. And everyone that will listen to it in the future, if you're watching this in the future. So thank you so much for that. Let's check the comments real quick. It says, oh, I remember this one from, yeah, I did play that one. It's the show's theme song. I don't know if that should really be the show's theme. That one's kind of a downer to be the show theme song, but yeah. So yeah, thanks everybody. Yeah, thanks everybody for the comments, and thanks for tuning in. So as I mentioned, we're gonna take a break. We took a break last time before our after season 1 ended. So we're gonna take a week off, and then after that we'll come back with some new song stories, some song studies, some split sets, some more interviews. I hope. Maybe a B-triple-SBS episode. Who knows? If there's something that you want to see, think it's something that you like, let me know. I think everyone watching pretty much has my phone number, so just, if you want to see something, or you want someone to be on the show, or if you want to be on the show, let me know. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's really all I got for you tonight. I hope you're having a good time out there. Take you use this excuse to party down, celebrate something. You might as well. We got a long stretch here until the holidays, and those are going to be a bummer for sure. So anyway, as always, thanks to Kim the producer, and everyone out there. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. I hope you're still watching in 2 weeks, and don't forget that we're doing this. And yeah, so have a good one. Be safe out there. Be nice to somebody, and then and try to do something fun for yourself. Okay. Alrighty. See you in 2 weeks.